It's something that affects everybody, regardless of your sex, regardless of your age. So we're sitting down now with therapist Laura Yusishen. Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure to be here.
Let's first of all talk about what self-esteem is.
Self-esteem is the overall opinion that you have of yourself, what you think of yourself, and also what you think others think of you.
And so somebody with low self-esteem, what would be some of the characteristics that they would show?
They would probably say negative things to themselves in their head, maybe find themselves very nervous to talk to people, put themselves down, call themselves names, and don't think that they're as good as other people in their same peer group.
Okay, and so how is that different than from someone with healthy self-esteem? What are they thinking about themselves?
Well, generally they have an accurate representation and opinion of themselves, and even though most of us have self-doubt at times, people with a healthy self-esteem generally like themselves.
Okay, sometimes you see people that come across as really cocky. Is that high self-esteem, or is that...
Not exactly. That's an overinflated self-esteem.
Okay.
So a healthy self-esteem is an accurate representation of yourself. It's not too thinking yourself better than others, but it's also not thinking yourself worse than others.
Okay, so having a very realistic approach to how people view you. What are some of the things then that people can do to boost their self-esteem if they have low self-esteem?
Well, one of the things that you can do is just be good to yourself. We all deserve to be treated well, and so regularly set some time aside for yourself to do things that you like, treat yourself occasionally, take yourself out on a date.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so get that pair of shoes kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if that be your, your little pick-me-up. Okay, so treating yourself good. What are some other things that we can keep in mind?
Pay attention to your negative self-talk. So the things that you tell yourself. When you mess up, are you really mean to yourself? Do you call yourself names? And if that's the case, stop yourself. Just tell yourself stop and come up with something a little bit more moderate. Not overly positive, because that's not believable or realistic, but something that's moderate and honest and makes you feel a little bit better.
People often will think something relatively critical of themselves, especially after they do something wrong like that. So do you just have to push those feelings aside altogether? Is it okay to recognize error?
Of course, we all want to do better, but recognizing error in a realistic way is going to make you able to overcome the errors and learn from them.
Okay, all right. How about some other tips for us?
Learn to accept a compliment.
We hear that a lot, right? Somebody
yeah.
says, you look great today. No, 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 no.
Yeah, or, oh, this old thing, you know,
Okay.
gee, if I hadn't spilled coffee myself, I might look good. But a simple smile and thank you is all it takes. And you'll be surprised how hard that is if you don't normally do that.
And that is very difficult, you're right. So is it just, have a couple of catchphrases there that you can, throw out?
Yeah, you can practice them. Pick up a few, thank you, that's very kind of you to say, or thank you, I had a lot of support getting me this far. Yeah, just a simple thank you.
Great. How about some other tips?
Identify and acknowledge what you're good at. We're all good at something.
Yeah.
And so don't sell yourself short. Be honest about what you're good at. Don't compare yourself to others, because really, with 7 billion people in the world, someone's going to be better than you are. So just compare yourself to yourself, and whether you've done better this time than the last time, and be honest about what you are good at and give yourself credit for it.
Okay. All right. Sometimes people really struggle with it. Is it just a matter of, putting on a face and eventually those feelings will follow?
One of my favorites is fake it till you feel it. And yeah, sometimes it is just putting on a face. We all get nervous inside. We all, feel bad about ourselves inside. And so if you can identify what you think looks positive and self-confident, maybe notice somebody in your life that looks and acts the way you'd like to, and mimic that. Stand tall, sit tall, smile, make eye contact, and then you get that positive feedback, because you get a positive response then if you're acting confident. And when you get that positive response, you might go, oh, hey, I'm getting positive responses, and begin to feel better.
All right, because it's true. As soon as you start carrying yourself differently, people treat you differently.
Absolutely.
And yes, the loop, as you were talking about. Well, just to give you a bit of a review, some things to keep in mind if you do feel that you suffer from low self-esteem, take a look at this list. Be good to yourself, very important. Pay attention to the negative things that you're saying about yourself and try to stop them, right? You don't want to be doing all of the negative self-talk, as it says there. Learn how to accept compliments. Just a simple thank you is easy enough. If you can't think of anything else to say, smile, Thank you. Identify what you're good at, very important, right? You know, don't focus on the things that you don't do well. Focus on some of the things that you are great at. And of course, fake it till you feel it, right? Because
Absolutely.
it'll eventually come. People will start to notice and begin treating you differently. We really appreciate you coming down, and of course, being a therapist, people can always get in touch with you too if they have some issues that they want to discuss regarding these topics. So thanks so much, Lori. We appreciate that.